Hello again, everybody. It's Todd Strouch, the horror nerd, here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival at the Showboat in Atlantic City. First day of the con. I'm having a great time. I get to interview so many cool people. Like I was saying in the previous interview, a lot of times it's the TV and movie stars that get a lot of the attention. I like to hang out with the independent authors and filmmakers and such at these cons. Being one myself, I know how important that is to show them some love. So I'm standing here with two guys I've known a really long time, Edward X. Young and Tommy Graef. Gentlemen, how are you guys?
Well, I'm Edward X. Young. You know me. We've worked
Indeed,
together.
We have.
I've been in over 150 indie horror and sci-fi movies in the past.
But who's counting?
20 years. I stopped counting at about 75. But I've been doing this for 21 years now, since 2004. And Tommy Graef, this is we're working on his new picture here. It's a great title. The title explains the movie. Segments of Jonah, Journal of the Homunculus.
It seems all explained.
All right, Tony,
It's all explained.
Tommy, why don't you grab the mic there and tell us what your movie's about.
Okay, well, Segments of Jonah is a series that involves a character struggling with his self-hatred over not being able to save his sister from all the stuff that happened to him in their life. And then it's a surreal horror fantasy. So it involves characters from the 1920s, the 1950s, the 1980s, and then dealing with in the present day. And so Ed here plays our Dr. Emmanuel. Lynn Lowry plays Nurse Michaela, whose story goes back to the 1920s. Will Kanan plays William Zabel, our main baddie. Debbie Rochon plays Nurse Ursula Sheila, whose story goes back to the 1950s, and all these people are sort of involved in Jonah's life. While he meets, and you know, Ivy Dominique, Steve Silver, and Leroy Hickman Jr., our clown, the scavengers who live in this weird zone that involves something that happened in Jonah's past. So there's all this like brain surgery and weird creatures like our little homunculus.
Nice.
So,
Let me explain. You can win a homunculus. You can have a homunculus.
What?
Look, this is like the actual dimensions. The homunculus was modeled after John Link. So it's like bringing John Link back through what do they call it? 3D printing. Hi there, yes. But I got to just say I'm so thrilled because Tommy here gave me the opportunity to work with Lynn Lowry. And I'll never forget.
Yes.
When I was a kid in Texas in 1970, I went to the drive-in theater, coaxed my folks to take me to the drive-in, the Rebel Twin drive-in theater. And I saw Lynn Lowry on the screen, and I Drink Your Blood.
Oh, yes.
And when she sawed that friendly old lady's hand off with the electric carving knife, I just fell in love. I was hoping I'd work with her someday, and finally I did. And our movie's got worms in it, lots of real worms. The worms are the star of the movie.
worms are important.
Only Squirm has more worms than this movie. But Tommy's very modest. This is his first movie that he's made in 66 years. Because 1959, teenagers from
He's
outer...
like, thanks for telling everyone how old I am, Ed.
Teenagers from Outer Space was directed, written, and produced by Tommy Graef. So he's 119 years old.
Meanwhile, Ed's so old he owes Moses a quarter.
That's right. That's right.
Look at what balance.
Yeah.
Tommy's 119 years old. Look what balance of nature can do for you.
Right.
And Botox.
So Tommy, where did the inspiration or the idea for the film come from?
It came from depressing. I'm sorry.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
I mean, you know.
It came from a friend who I was trying to help. Person I met used to at coffee house and talk faith and religion and philosophy with all these people in a coffee house. And she came in and she was wrestling with a lot of demons. And unfortunately, after I worked with her kids and all this stuff, and unfortunately, she ended up committing suicide.
Okay.
So the initial story of Segments of Jonah was sort of an homage, or kind of dealt with a lot of those feelings. When I wanted to expand it into a feature, I got a little bit to bring in Debbie and Lynn, and then Ed, and then Will. And at that point, I sort of expanded the story into more of even more philosophical and dealing with Jonah's dealing with all those feelings that I went through. But then there's all these other characters with their own issues and stories. So in that way, it's very much soap opera-ish, but with a horror, fantasy, surreal tinge to it all.
Cool. All right. So tell the fans, when will we be able to see the film? When does it get released?
Right now, we are just doing some little bit more bits of parts of shooting, various scenes to flesh it out. And then I've been editing and working on the visual effects in the course of this. So hopefully by September, I'll have a festival edit and then fine-tune it and get Blu-rays ready, and then we'll talk about streaming.
Awesome.
I have to honestly say, I mean, all joking aside, he's shooting with a red cam.
Cool.
This is the most beautiful movie I've been associated with. Nobody ever made me look better, but it's a
And that's an achievement.
it's a spectacularly beautiful, hallucinogenic, trippy acid trip sci-fi movie.
Awesome.
The weird thing about this film, okay, it's not just the story, makes no sense, but when there was a delay in getting the initial funds to bring in these actors and actresses, I started to just film something. I wanted to get something down, right? So the story became a prequel to the original story.
Gotcha.
And that's how it became like a 3 or 4 or 5 movie story. But I had no script. So much like Salvador Dali and Louis Buñuel did in Un Chien Andalou, where they took dream images and tied them together into a story, most of this was not even thought of when we started filming. The story developed as opportunity and ideas came around. Ivy said, well, we'd really like to be in it. Okay, let's make up some, and then everybody, so then Debbie wound up acting, I brought Debbie back to act with them. So the story was really a journal or a document of the process of creating a story.
Cool.
So,
love it. Cool. All right.
It's abstract, expressionist, independent horror sci-fi. He's like.
So you invented your own genre,
Yes.
is what you're saying, and I love it.
Think a little bit of David Lynch, a little bit of Cronenberg, a little bit of Jackson Pollock and Mark Rothko.
Awesome. Tommy, thanks a lot for a
thank
few
you, my
minutes
friend. It
of your
was
time.
awesome. I appreciate it.
Ed, good to see you. I will keep an eye out for it. I look forward to
I'll
it.
send you a link to it.
Absolutely.
A simple title, easy to remember. Segments of Jonah, Journal of the Homunculus.
I will absolutely remember that, actually. All right. Tommy
my
Graef,
friend.
Edward X. Young, everybody here at New Jersey HorrorCon and Film Festival. This is Todd Struch, the Horror Nerd, signing off. We will see all of you in the next interview.